Hi there, welcome to Colors. I'm Erica. On today's Weekend Whip video, I'm going to be attempting to work on this page in Fairy Wonderland that I started. I'm having some troubles, so hopefully today I can figure out a solution because it's starting to drive me a little crazy. So I'm going to take a sip of my tea here. I'm trying to move some stuff on my desk so I don't have stuff everywhere. Yeah, let me take a sip of my tea and we'll get started. Okay. All right, so I have started a beautiful page as a buddy color in here with Jennifer from Jen's Coloring Corner. And yeah, this is the page. I've done something in the background and I don't like it, so now I'm trying to fix it. I like everything else so far, but this is what I've got right now. This is not good. Like, the gems turned out pretty cool, and I like how the gems are going on the hedgehog so far, and I like the ground, and I'm sure that I'll be fine with this little character. But this background is not doing it for me. So I've gotten a little discouraged from that this week, and I have kind of pushed all of my coloring off to the side. I've done a few crystals, but I'm just like, it's just frustrating because I look at this page and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. So we're going to attempt some stuff today. I'm going to grab some, I'm going to grab some chalk pastels, and I'm going to grab some paint pens and see which of those might be best to kind of give me the look I'm going for. So I really want this to be just like a, I don't even know. Like when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, I'll just have this lovely little flowy bit of pink through the center. And then I'll have, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, this is not it. So let me grab those other things and I'll be right back. All right, so I have my chalk pastels out here. I have a bunch of little Q-tips that are hopefully going to help me get in there. I thought I was going to be able to fix it with my pencils, which I still might be able to do. But it's just, I don't know. I'm just going to try different things, and if it works, it works. If not, I'll just black it out. It'll be fine, right? So I got these Shuttle Art acrylic paint markers that I thought I would try to use a couple of these too. I just have to find the right colors. I feel like that one probably is a good one. And that one, so let me test these real quick. Okay, so I have a couple of little paint things. So we're going to try the chalk pastels first and see if I can get the look that I'm going for, which I'm not even sure what exactly that is, but we're going to try stuff. Okay, so I have this neon pink. I'm just going to rub the Q-tip on there, and we're just going to attempt. We're going to see what happens, which nothing really happens because I already have a whole bunch of stuff kind of down on the page. This works way better with, like, if you have the acrylic. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. Chalk pastels are out. Good to know. Good to know. I don't know. Maybe I really can fix it with my pencils. I think you guys could probably tell I'm getting a little frustrated with the way that this is going. And I have been frustrated, and it's just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to attempt to use some pencils. So let's try, I'm going to try the dioxazine purple. So, because I want, I don't know, that's really the problem right now, I think, is I'm not sure exactly what I want. I've got a nice dark Like there's a good difference between the dark areas and the lighter areas, but I think maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should start with the lighter pink and see if I can, let's do that. Okay, so while I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing, hi everyone. Good morning. I'm gonna try this Deco Pink. It is super early in the day for me. It is Saturday morning. Unfortunately, I'm going to be, oh, well, that doesn't seem so bad. I'll be a little late on posting this today because I did not record last night. I know that you guys, especially for my friends that are outside of the US, I know that sometimes you guys sit down and start your day with me, which I love and I appreciate. But last night I just could not record. I just kept looking at this book and I'm just like, it's not happening today. It's not gonna be a good time if I try to do it because I'm just so frustrated. Okay, this isn't working either. Okay, so that's not working either. Let's just focus in and have this bright bit of color be there. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I decided that I would wait until this morning to record because my son is off visiting his girlfriend this week. He's so excited, and I'm so excited for him. I'm so happy that they were able to see each other. And yeah, so we were able to get them together. So he's going to spend a few days with her and her family, and then come back home. So I do have the basement back to myself for a few days, which is nice. But you know, I do miss him too. He's only been gone a couple of days and I'm already like, I don't think I like this. So it's probably not, you know, if it happens that he ends up moving to where she lives and away from us, I don't know how I'm going to do with that. I don't know. I've always been a homebody. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing too. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I've always been a bit of a homebody and like to have my family around me quite a bit. So I can't imagine moving out on my own. I just can't. I can't. My mom, when she was 19, she got married to my dad, and my dad had joined the Air Force, so he was stationed, he went through boot camp, and he was stationed in Arizona, and they were from Indiana, and she just left. She just went out there with him and just followed wherever he was sent. And I can't imagine having to do that, being away from my family quite that much. Would just be really, really hard. I don't think I could do it. Okay. Guys, I have no idea what I'm doing here. But yeah, so I'm going to miss him quite a bit. He's only going to be gone a few more days, but it's still a little bit of an insight into how I'm going to do if he actually ever does move away for a real long time. Like when he was at college, like I just, I don't know. It felt different because I knew eventually he was going to come home for, breaks and things like that. But, if he moves away, like that's not happening as much. So yeah, it's rough thinking about it. Also down here, I started with like a really like super bright purpley pink color. You can see it a little bit on the wings, and I just had to go over and over and over with other markers to try to tone it down because it was too bright, like way too bright. So yeah, so this page has been a little frustrating, but I feel like the rest of this is going to look really cool when it's done. I just am having a hard time getting this background. And then both Jen and I were both talking about how we were going to do the lantern light because it's a little wonky because the lantern's behind the hedgehog, but the light ring is in front of the hedgehog. So normally I would have like a little bit of a lighter color inside the ring, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Jen suggested using like the Neocolor white and just kind of having the light, you know, like going, my understanding was like going ahead and coloring everything and then using the Neocolor white over top of everything to kind of mute it, which seems like a pretty reasonable way to color it. I've never actually done that. I've seen her do that on a lot of her pages and it's beautiful, but I've never actually done that. So that would be another another experiment for this page. Hopefully that one doesn't go terribly wrong. But yeah, like I said, this has just been frustrating. And instead of trying to attempt to do it, like it's put me off of coloring anything this week. So all I've been doing all week is just reading and, you know, doing stuff for the family. We did have, my littlest one was home sick. She missed all this week of school. She had 2 full days and 2 half days this week, and she missed them all. She had a fever and then and a really sore throat. She was complaining about her throat, and I was like, well, and I looked and it was pretty red, but I didn't see anything, you know, weird. So I was just like, okay, well, you can stay home today since you have your fever. And then the next day it was there again, and the sore throat was just as bad and the fever was still there. So I was just like, okay, we need to go. We'll go to the doctor, make sure it's not like strep or anything. I looked in there, like I said, her throat was pretty red. But yeah, she was in a lot of pain. And so we got her some popsicles and some throat lozenges and drops and stuff, and got into the doctor, thankfully, and they did like a rapid strep test, and it came back negative, which was good. But then the doctor said, you know, she was looking at her throat, and she did end up seeing some little white, like the little white bumps that you get with strep. But she said if that's coming back as a negative, they sent out a culture, which I haven't got back yet. But if that comes back negative as well, she said we might be looking at early stages of mono. And I was like, no, I don't want mono. I don't want to deal with that. It's not what I want. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, it sounds terrible to say, but fingers crossed it's strep throat and she can just get some medicine and get rid of it. Because if it's mono, I know that tends to be a little harder to get rid of. So yeah, I don't know. She's not got a fever anymore. She's feeling better. Her sore throat is getting better. So that's good news. But she still has these like times where she's just exhausted, and that just keeps making me think, oh crap, it is probably mono. So we're keeping an eye on it. Fingers crossed that something happens where she can, I don't know, we can figure out what it is and she can get better. But yeah, so, and it was spring break. Spring break started this week, so She had yesterday off. So she missed, we missed her conferences for the spring, because they normally do like a spring conference and a fall conference. So we missed the spring conferences. But she's got straight A's in all of her classes. So I'm not super worried about that. I'm worried about how hard it'll be to get her back into the routine once we have to be out of it for this long. Okay, so this is not quite doing what I want it to do, but it's not terrible. Oh, you guys, this is so frustrating. I can't give up on this though, because it's a buddy color and I want to make it look awesome. Like I said, I like everything else. It's just this background it's getting me. Let's see. So I have not, so since I have been avoiding coloring this week, that's also meant that I have not done any work on the color along that I'm supposed to have this month. I have a palette picked out, well, not necessarily a palette, but some inspiration images. And I know what page I'm going to do. It's just now a matter of getting that stuff done now. Getting the mental energy to psych myself up to be like, yeah, you screwed up one page, but it's okay. This one won't get screwed up. That's what it feels like when you mess something up. You're just like, oh well, I've ruined everything, and not everything else that I ever try to fix or color is just going to turn out awful. Which I know is not the case, but it's still upsetting, you know? So yeah, so I have all that ready to go. Oh, I was going to share the, so this is oh, that's really close. Sorry. This is some of the inspiration images that I've pulled. So I really like the colors on both of these. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. But this will be somewhere in the background on the color along. And then I really like these little swirls of magical whatever. I like those. So those will be probably on there somewhere. And then look at all these cool bottles. So I found all of those. So that's another bit of inspiration for that page. So just in case you guys didn't know, I thought that I had shared it on here before, but this is the page that... We'll zoom out. This is the page that's going to be the color along. So I think this will translate well to that. But it's just trying to get that started. That's going to be the little bit of the issue. Okay. All right, I don't really know what else to do here. Okay, so let's try let's try these shuttle art markers and see what happens. Yeah, okay, so hold on. I know for sure that I want this stuff to be all white. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these in white and see what happens. Okay, so I'm not done with the color along, and it's gonna be a little bit probably before I get it done. Hopefully, let's say, fingers crossed that I can work on it this weekend. We don't have any big plans. My husband is going to go to his big old family card game. And my brother is coming over today to play board games, but I think that I should be able to set aside some time. To work on the color along. I did get a new mythographic book, which I hadn't heard about yet, so I don't know if I just missed it or if it's a brand new one, but it's Shangri-La. I don't know if I just missed it. I feel like maybe I did, but it's by what's her name? Alessandra Fusi, I guess. But I found it at the grocery store and I was like, oh, that looks cool. So I think I am going to try to color in that one. There are several images in there that I really liked. I know on a couple of her other books, I looked at them and I was just like, that just looks like too much. I have her first one and I can't, it just hurts my eyes to try to focus on some of it. But okay. All right, so those look okay. Let's just try to add in some dots and see what happens. Let's just try. Yeah, still don't love it. Okay, let's try this. Let's use this pink to kind of blend the edges into the pink that's already here. Yeah, but I'm gonna share that mythographic with you guys here in a second. It I don't think it was an impulse buy. Because like I said, I kind of flipped through it and I took my time kind of, assessing what pages I might color and what pages, I could see myself doing. I don't know if this is doing anything, but it's making me feel better. But yeah, I do want to try to get a couple more videos made this month. I am, I'm been doing pretty good about getting these weekend whip videos out, but trying to get anything else done right now is just a struggle for me, especially since this page has been ticking me off. I mean, sure. Okay, I am going to use this blender pen or pencil too, just because I can see some of the lines in the darker areas and I don't want that. I want it to be blended very nicely. So I have a Derwent blender pencil just in a Derwent holder. I like these Derwent blender pencils. All right, what do we think about that? How's that? I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm even doing anything on this, but feels like it's blending things a little better. Okay, let's just keep playing with that. So yeah, so like I said, I really do want to get some more videos out to you guys, but it's been a little struggly. trying to think what else happened this week. Nothing else really. I was just dealing with a kid being sick. I mean, I haven't felt great either, but I don't know if that was all psychosomatic or not, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's all in my head, but, you know, when you feel bad, whether it's in your head or not. Okay. All right, here we go. More dots. Dots usually solve a lot of my problems. That's what it seems like. Like I can just dot my way through a background sometimes, and it just turns out fine. What do we think? Does that look like a magical something? Gosh. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to leave it. I think I'm just going to have to leave it and hope that something ends up working out. Like once everything's done, that it just is fine. Maybe the background will just fade into the background like it's supposed to do. Who knows? I don't think these are going to be, this pink isn't going to be dark enough to do anything. It might break up some of the purple. I don't know if you can see that. It does bring a little bit of that pink outside into the purple. I was playing with these paint markers a little bit, and they're not super opaque, like to cover black lines, but they add a little bit of color. I guess that's all right. That's not terrible, right? Yeah, I just wish this would have worked out. I'm not even sure what I was attempting to do either, though, so. Having a clear plan is sometimes a good idea when you are trying to do a background. It's this area down here that's really bugging me. Like, it's just because I can see the pinkish part coming through, and I've tried, like I said, multiple times to cover it up, but it's just not working. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that. It's gonna stay how it is. I'm sure some of you out there are like, Erica, it's fine. It looks great. You're worrying too much. You're overthinking it. I probably am. It's just, it's frustrating. Okay. Let's work. I'll show you how I do a couple of these crystals. How about that? Okay. I have a whole bunch of colors that I've been using for these. And it doesn't look like it's that many, but I've got like, what, 6 colors here? So I've been using the, like the clay rose. So these like grayish pinks, which I think looks really nice. So I start usually with the darker colors, and anywhere where there's a little bit of like overlap, like where one crystal overlaps another, that's going to get a little bit of a darker bit. And then a lot of the times where the artist is drawn in lines or you know, wherever I feel like there needs to be a little bit of darker color. And you want to make sure that you kind of vary the colors when you do crystals, because there's, you know, there's so many different ways that the light can bounce through it. So you're going to get brighter areas and darker areas. Crystals, when I do color them, they tend to just kind of be whatever I feel like. Like, I'm sure there's a way to do it so that, you know, the light is reflecting correctly through the crystal. I don't know what that way is, so I just pick areas that are lighter. Some are lighter, some are darker, and go with that. Okay, so now I very sparingly have been using the mulberry in a couple of spots, but not too overly much. And then I also use the black cherry to really darken up the shadowed areas. And add in a little bit more darkness in any area that I feel like needs it. And then I'll go over one more time with this, what is this one? Pink rose. Just kind of blend that out a little bit more. And then add in white again. And then the real magic happens when I add the white Posca. That's when it really starts to look like a fancy crystal. And I'm just barely touching the page here so that if I get thicker lines in some areas and thinner lines in others, that's perfectly fine. But anywhere where there's a black line or like these little dots or starbursts or anything like that, I add in white over top of that. And then I also add in a few of my own little dots here and there. And they can just be random or dots or lines or whatever. And there you go. There you have a crystal. So I think this is gonna be cute. I'm still trying to figure out what to do for this. Like I feel like maybe I should make this like a pink light. And that would explain maybe like this background a little bit more. You know what? Let's just do that. It's going to be a pink light. How about that, guys? I just decided. So, yeah. So I'm going to do this. What is this color? Hot pink around the outside edges. And then we'll use Deco Pink to blend that out a little bit. Because this is a fairy wonderland, right? Like it'd be acceptable to have a pink magical light that's lighting the way for your underground giant crystal hedgehog. It makes total sense. Okay. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna go ahead. So I need like I don't have any more handy right now. I needed another pencil holder because this is really tiny. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in a little bit of pink around the outside edges here and up at the top. So this is exactly what I would do if I was using like a yellow. I'm going to use the pink instead. Okay, do the same thing with this now. Blend this out with this Deco Pink. Kind of leave a little halo of light around the light there. I probably will go ahead and outline this as well. Okay, that works. Kind of looks like pink fire, right? I'm coloring over the white a little bit with this pink just to bring it back down to normal. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this pink paint pen now. I think I'm going to add in a few dots around the lantern. Make that look a little bit more magical. Yeah, I did do like a little bit of a glow. Around the lantern too, but I don't know. I don't want it to be super, like I don't want this whole circle to be pink, you know. I just want a little bit of a glow. Like it looked like it's glowing a little bit. So hopefully that works a little. Okay, that's not terrible, right? Not terrible. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna try to use this black. No, I'm just gonna use black, I think. All right, so I did use like a really dark purple to outline this hook, but now I can't, I can't really see it. I'm gonna get my head in here for a second. Okay, there we go. I feel like I can see now. There's just that little bit up there that I just couldn't see it. All right, and if I think about this, the darker areas would probably be away from the lantern. Okay. Yeah, I can't see any of the detail that was on this big hook either, so that's a little frustrating. Because I know that there's, like, they've got little details drawn in. Maybe I'll just add some of my own. Okay, let's do some of the highlights in this purpley gray color. This is something else, but it's gonna be a completed page. That's what I'm that's what I'm aiming for, you know? Let's see what else is happening. So, I mean, I could always go back to good old standard. We've had some definite spring weather here in Indy. The weather has been either super nice or super rainy. Last night we had some, night before, we had some really big thunderstorms move through. There were a couple tornadoes, but not near us, but they were following on the news, so I did kind of see some of that happen. It was at night, so they weren't able to capture any of it on video, but some confirmations did come through from some of their like storm spotters and stuff, which is a little scary. I was watching, was it Instagram maybe? And they were talking about how, like, depending on where you live in America, you are like a different natural disaster. Like, you know, if you live in California, you have earthquakes and wildfires. If you live in the Midwest, you've got to deal with tornadoes. If you live in Florida, you have to deal with hurricanes and flooding. And, you know, depending on where you live in the States, you have a whole range of natural disasters that you're just kind of okay dealing with. Like, you've settled in this area of the United States and know that you have to live with, you know, the fact that one of those things might happen to you, which was just kind of crazy to this person. And they're like, why would you live anywhere? And he's like, but you know, if you deal with somebody who lives in California and sometime occasionally the ground shakes and there might be a fire, they look at the person who has to deal with giant funnel clouds forming from the heavens as somebody who's a little crazy. Which I laughed at because, yeah, I mean, yeah, like in the Midwest, tornadoes are kind of, you just deal with it. Like, and then, you know, getting somebody's outside perspective on that is really funny because they're just like, yeah, there's like this spinning vortex of death coming down from the heavens. And that was the phrase that they used. And I just laughed out loud. And I have done that stupid Midwest thing where you know, there's a tornado off in the distance and you go outside and you look at it. Like who in their right mind does that? Midwesterners, evidently. It was so stupid, but I did it. Okay, guys, what do we think about this? Let me know what you think in the comments. If I saved it, if it looks, I don't know, something. I don't hate it now. Like, I feel like it's a little bit better. I don't know. I might do a little bit of white coming out of here too. Just a few little white dots. I don't know. What do you guys think? Too late now. I've done it. All right. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. I almost forgot that I was going to share this with you guys. So here's the Shangri-La book. I think it's gorgeous. There are a couple of really awesome pages in here. Let's see if I can find the one that I really like. Like, I mean, these look awesome. Some of them are super detailed, and some of them are I think manageable, like would be manageable. That one's so cool. I'm not sure what I would do with it, but it's so cool. But yeah, there's some really interesting ones. I really like that one a lot. That one's really cool too. There's some real good ones in here. I really liked that one. I don't know, in her first book, it seemed like there was a lot more images that I just didn't know what to do with. Like, I didn't know how I would even approach coloring them. And then this one seems more approachable. This is one that I really liked. I really loved the thought that the video game was like coming out of the computer. I just thought that one was a cool one. There's, like I said, but there's lots of cool ones in this book this time. So, but yeah, I did a lot. If you guys want to see a full flip through, let me know in the comments and I can get that posted. I don't know if this is, like I said, I don't know if it's an older book or a new book. Let's see. What does it say? Nope, it doesn't say anything there. What does it say back here? 2024. So yeah, it's a new book. Yeah, but I like it. So yeah, if you guys want to see a full flip through of Mythographic Shangri-La, let me know. All right, we'll head back to the video. I'll probably work on some more of these crystals because that's just like mindless stuff. Like, I can just sit down and just do it, and it's the same group of pencils over and over. That's not hard to do. I'll have to think about what I want this little fairy to look like and what I want the lantern to look like, and see if I can actually do that cool thing that Jen does with her Neocolor white. And see if I can make it look like it's shining or glowing or whatever. But yeah, so that's it for me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, I don't know, seeing me try to figure out what the heck to do. It's, well, there's I want to be honest with you guys that this is not always the easiest thing for me to do either. Like, it's a hard thing sometimes. And even though we want it to be nice and relaxing, which I do find it therapeutic once I've gotten through the process. And sometimes it is just like the nicest, easiest, loveliest process. But sometimes I get frustrated, and it's okay. And I try not to completely give up on projects. I do have a few whips that have been waiting for me to come back to finish them for a long, long, long time. But yeah, I do try not to give up completely. And I feel like if I mess with enough of my supplies, like, I can figure something out usually. So hopefully this looks all right. Okay, so that's it from me today. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me on the weekends or whenever it is that you end up watching this video. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.